Carolina's building a nice team.
Terrific additions in free agency. You saw the savvy of Bryce Young.
Stock up on Miles Sanders. I love this move.
This could be the best defense in the NFC South.
Devoured and sacked. You cannot say enough about this Panther defense. I think they'll be a factor immediately in the NFC South.
What do we expect with DJ Chark? I think he can be a beast.
You haven't seen him with the full offense yet. You haven't seen him with Miles in the backfield. You haven't seen him with all the receivers out there. And, kind of held back a few things, too.
Touchdown! Bryce Young to Adam Thielen. Young's first touchdown pass as a Panther. Hayden Hurst goes upstairs.
Damn!
And he's set. He walked into a spider web. Picked off Jeremy Chin. Touchdown! Carolina!
Oh my God!
This is amazing!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We have arrived. It is the regular season of the NFL. Week 1. Let's get it. Hey. Man, let me play that hype video one more time, because I think people need to see this, man. People need to hear this. Whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, y'all need to hear this. This hype video is ridiculous. I like it. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below if you feel like doing so. And don't forget to check out the Facebook group page. Keep pounding in all caps for in-game post polls, opinions, and reactions to NFL news, as well as in-game post polls, opinions, and the scheduling for the channel, as well as the Yahoo Sports Fantasy Football League. Sorry, I kind of rambled on and repeated myself a little bit, but hey, we're here. We made it. But I feel like that's what the front office is doing a little bit too. They're rambling and they're repeating themselves, and it's just, okay, yeah. I just want to get out on the field and I want to get some wins. You know what I mean? That's what I'm wanting to do. Enough talk. Let's just get it done. You know, we spent all the money. We put together the roster. It's time. We're here. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to see our new 2023 hype video? This is going to blow your mind, folks. I hope this works on YouTube, because the audio is kind of weird right now. But, hey, let's give it a shot. I know it's going to work perfectly on Facebook, because you'll be able to hear it just fine. Let's go again.
Carolina's building a nice team.
Terrific additions in free agency. You saw the savvy of Bryce Young.
Stock up on Miles Sanders. I love this move.
This could be the best defense in the NFC South.
Devoured and sacked. You cannot say enough about this Panther defense. I think it'll be a factor immediately in the NFC South.
What do we expect with DJ Chark? I think he can be a beast.
You haven't seen him with the full offense yet. You haven't seen him with Miles in the backfield. You haven't seen him with all the receivers out there. And, kind of held back a few things, too.
Touchdown! Bryce Young to Adam Thielen. Young's first touchdown pass as a Panther. Hayden Hurst goes upstairs.
Damn.
Let's go, baby. I'm hype. I'm hype already.
Jeremy Chin. Touchdown. Carolina.
Oh my God.
This is amazing.
That's my reaction, Shaq. Oh my God. Yo. I'm hype with y'all, man. I'm hype with y'all. That was awesome. That was great. Shaq, I'm with you, man. That's exactly the reaction I got right now. Oh my God. We're ready, man. We're ready. We're ready to rock and roll. And can I just say it is a absolute honor to start yet another season with you fine folks here in the Keep Pounding community. Let's keep this rolling, baby. It's an honor to have you guys, man. It's an honor to be streaming in front of the camera and the mic yet again for another full rotation. Let's do this, baby. All right. So, I think there's a few topics we want to talk about and kind of open the door to right out of the gate. There's the countdown to kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. 10 hours and 33 minutes. Are y'all ready, man? It's coming. It is coming. I got to change the title of the stream because I screwed that up, actually. It should be Panthers and Falcons. There we go. Updated. I ain't gonna mess with the I'm not gonna mess with the title screen. Shout out to Austin Lumen. How you doing, man? Or Austin Lumen. However you choose to say your name. But hey, man. We're here. Week 1, regular season. We made it. It's been a wild ride of an off season. I'll say that right now. There's been a lot of ups. There's been a lot of downs. There's been a lot of what in the world is going on this off season. But I mean, that's typical of the typical roller coaster ride that is the Panthers off season. During a good year, when things are going well. I mean, when things are going bad, the fan base is up in arms and we are pissed off. But this is one of the years that we have taken the time to properly build a roster that we can be proud of. And I mean, it is so close to being done. All we need is one more quarterback, and it's done. It's perfect. This might be the second best Panthers roster that we have ever seen in Panthers franchise history. I'm saying it now. I am confidently and without hesitation saying it, because I believe in it. I believe this roster is capable of getting us to 10 wins. Shout out to Leroy Hunt, man. My home dog, man. I believe in 10 wins here. We need a third quarterback, but I think once that's done, that's it. That's it. We are right there. And speaking of quarterbacks, while we're on this subject, Matt Corral, y'all know I was gonna get to this subject, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to it. Now, my theories originally were, okay, well, maybe we're cutting Matt Corral to make up some salary cap room to help pay for the Brian Burns extension. That's looking a lot less likely right now. Because old Belichick up in New England just cut Matt Corral within a week, maybe 2 weeks. He's gone. He's back on the free agent couch again, y'all. I mean, that just pretty much confirms to all the people that were saying that he was trash that they were pretty much right. Because Belichick is a pretty good judge of character and skills. If you cannot impress upon Bill Belichick within 2 weeks, you're not going to. Simple as that. If he cannot develop you within that amount of time, there's nothing more to be done. You might as well toss him. And my thing is, last we heard, Matt Corral was competing for the second string job in preseason. But that quarterback room has been a game of musical chairs since the beginning in Boston. Let's be real. If it were me, I would give it to Zappy. Zappy has been sitting in that quarterback room for the longest time. He's been developing and improving every year, and it's showing in preseason. And I'm just surprised he hasn't gotten the starting job yet. It's only because they put Cam Newton in there. They put Mac Jones up there, and they just starts really screwing around up there. And by the end of this, Zappy just doesn't get a shot. And it's disappointing because I really do like Zappy. I think he's a great quarterback. And I think he's an even better person than he is on the field as a quarterback. I've never met him, but I would love to. So if there is ever an opportunity where I could get a chance to meet him, that would be awesome. Because you don't see quarterbacks from a college like the one he came from stay in the NFL for this long. It's very rare. Vietnam, what's going on with you, man? Proud of the roster, but I have my concerns on the D-line. Yeah, we're going to get to that subject too. But I'm going to start with Matt Corral because it's important. The fact that Bill Belichick has cut Matt Corral pretty much shows us that Josh McCown wouldn't have been able to do anything with him anyway. Now, here's my thing. This hurts his value. Now, before we cut Matt Corral, I would have argued maybe a 5th or a 6th value for him. You could have gotten a pick out of him. So we're all just sitting there like, why didn't we make a move and get something for him? But apparently, this coaching staff knew better. Because if Belichick can't use you in 2 weeks, you're not getting anything. You're just not. So, that throws out the first theory that I had out the window as well. So now we know that we can trust Josh McCown. We know that our coaching staff is solid. We know that we're coming in confident, strong, and looking a lot better. Now, here's my thing. If you're going to cut Matt Corral, you need to replace him with somebody. Who are you replacing him with? Because you need 3 quarterbacks. If you paid 8 quarterbacks that we had during that time period, I can count them only on one hand, folks, and that's scary. So, my thing is, if we don't go after a 3rd quarterback, I would sign Jake. My suggestion is Jake. If you want to go cheap, because we're looking at like what, $11.5 million, and we're trying to get a extension done with Burns right now, who's wanting $28 million. Oh boy. I don't know, y'all. I don't know where we're supposed to get all that money from to pay this man this year. Because, I mean, this is $28 million a year. Okay? $28 a year. Where are we coming up with the rest of this money? Is it supposed to come out of David Tepper's pension? Because, honestly, I don't know where we're getting it from. We have nowhere else we could really restructure right now and really get money, unless Scott figures out how to do some wizard stuff, man, and pulls a rabbit out of the hat again. I'd be very shocked if he pulled it off again. But if he does, more power to him. I would love to see it. But for now, Brian Burns has said he wants to play. He's putting the team above his contract. And that's a loyal player right there. That's somebody we need to keep around here. So when you look at Nick Bosa's contract, it's overpaid, obviously. There's no way Nick Bosa is worth that much. I'm sorry. It's just too much. It's too much. However, inflation is a thing. I do recognize that. There's a difference between inflation and those types of contracts. And I'm not a fan of those types of contracts, because that changes and sets the bar for everybody else that's a defensive end in the league. And says, oh, hey, we can make an extra $5 or $6 million out of this than we did originally. And I'm being told it's the same agency, not the same agent, but the same agency that was negotiating Nick Bosa's contract, who is also doing Brian Burns' contract. So, just a different agent. And it seems to me these guys are money-hungry guys. So again, I ask you, who is driving the bus in this negotiation? Who's driving the bus? Somebody's got to be driving the bus. It can't be autopilot, man. Somebody's got to be driving it. Shout out to Lock Poppy. Alright, so is it the agency that is driving the bus here? Is it the player that's driving the bus? Is it a combo of the agency and the player that are driving the bus? Or is it Scott Fitter? You be the judge. Keep pounding. Love y'all in chat. What's up, Ryan? Shout out to you, man. Love having these guys back in this chat, man. It's so exciting to start another season with you guys. It really is. You know, we've been through a lot together as a channel, and as a family, and as a community, and we're still here. You know, we're still pounding through, and we made it. We put together one of the best rosters in Panthers history, and we're about to take that on the road to Atlanta and try to get a dub with it, man. Man, 11 hours. 11 hours. Y'all, Carolina, Charlotte, wherever you're at. You can feel the electricity, man. You can feel it. You can feel the energy, man. And I'll say this, man. If we come out of this with a dub, and we go into New Orleans, that New Orleans game, and get a dub there, they gotta start respecting us, man. They gotta start respecting us. All these haters, man, are not going to be saying a word once we go 2-0. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's 2 division games right out of the gate. We cannot afford to go 0-2 starting out. Or 1-1. No, it has to be 2-0. It has to be 2-0. And I refuse to watch this team go 1-1 or 0-2. I refuse. With what we built. There's no excuse. Am I doing a watch party tomorrow? Yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm not going to have the mic set up, though. Because it recorded a whole bunch of background noise last time, and I'm trying to avoid that. I might set up in a different room, man. I might for real. Because there was way too much going on the last time behind me. And I apologize for that. Nice. You'll be there? That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Alright, so this D-line. Vietnam, you mentioned the D-line. Let's jump into this, man. Let's jump all the way into this rabbit hole. Because it needs to be discussed. And this is even before we start looking at the Falcons roster. Okay? We got to discuss our own problems right now. The D-line is, when it comes to run stopping, we did well with the second team, the third team, and the fourth team. The starters need work. Because that's the last 2 preseason games, they looked weak on the run stopping. And I don't know whether we're hiding our playbook, what we're doing there, why that's a thing, but it is. Welcome in Mickabee to the stream. But the pass rush is a concern. Blitzball pointed it out, and I'm going to continue beating that drum right now because the pass rush was not there on any levels. Any levels during the Lions game. And I don't like it. So, you know, I don't know whether we need to move people up, what we need to do there, because either you remain committed to your starters that you paid millions of dollars for, or you don't. You know? And we know YGM is not it. Okay? Let's not even start that conversation. We know why GM is not it. Barno isn't quite there yet. Alright, so what do you do if Brian Burns does not start on Sunday? What happens if Brian Burns sits? Which I doubt will happen. Because the man has already said he wants to play. He's putting the team's needs ahead of his contract. We have him contractually stuck here in Carolina for at least another year. So, I'm not even worried about that. Either he plays or he pays a fine. And honestly, Brian Burns ain't gonna pull a Nick Bosa, man. He ain't gonna do that nonsense. We all know this. Look at his character, man. We know he's not gonna do that. Brian Burns apparently playing. Bad situation right there. I'd like to see his thoughts on it. Yeah, ESPN reported it earlier today. I did get the ESPN report saying that he was going to play. So, I was never worried about that. I never had any concerns about that. My thought is, this whole thing is distracting us from the pass rush issues and the quarterback room issue. Because either you believe in Andy Dalton or you don't at this point. Either he is what you thought he was or he's washed up. Which one is it? And if he's washed up, it's going to be the whole Derek Anderson situation again. Back when we had that in 2015. And he was the best available. That's why I wasn't mad at it. You know, I'm still not mad at it. But, honestly, if you believe what you saw in preseason and training camp, Andy Dalton is basically, is your mic good, man? Because we can barely hear you, man.
Yo, hello?
Yeah, man.
Oh, what's up? Yo, I'm talking to Mr. Poppy right now. Lock Poppy?
Yeah,
You know? The dude in the chat?
absolutely.
He's asking why he, you know, he's a big fan of food. Or, you know, he's a regular. He's wondering why what was I gonna ask? Oh yeah, why you're so worried about like Andy Dalton? Like he thinks like, oh, Bryce Young's a quarterback. Like, why are we worried about Andy Dalton? That's what he just told me, like right now. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Andy Dalton, my concerns with Andy Dalton is, and this started in Chicago, where he started taking a downturn in his career, because they did not give him an offensive line. So he was basically scared to throw the ball down the field because of pressure. He felt the pressure and he's not doing well under pressure. But as soon as you take that pressure away, he's like the old Andy Dalton. And I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? You know, we can't have Jekyll and Hyde at backup quarterback right now.
So are you just like, are you worried about like an injury or something with Bryce Young? Or do you think he's like
Bryce? You know, he could take hits. The problem is how many hits until he ends up on the IR. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not Big Ben. He's not built like Big Ben. Big Ben was basically a tank out there. So you're not gonna. And once people figure out that Andy Dalton is not what he was, and he's basically Sam Darnold 2.0, they're going to start attacking Bryce, knowing that we don't have a third quarterback. They're going to push 3 times as hard. And that O-line better be ready. Because they're going to gun for them. Especially Icky right now. Because Icky's been struggling.
Do you think we should have kept Corral?
No.
Like, would you like that cut?
At first I didn't, because one, we need 3 quarterbacks. And I would have preferred Jake Lutz over Matt Corral, to be real with you. Jake was showing a lot of potential, especially with the Jennings touchdown pass. So I really do like that, during the Lions game. He looked real solid. And I thought he was about to make that push for that number 3 spot for sure. You're not going to get Andy out of the number 2, although he shouldn't be there. That's my thing. He should not be there, based on what we've been seeing.
So Andy, do you think Andy's like really bad?
I'm not going to say really bad. I'm going to say he's basically Sam Darnold 2.0. Under pressure. If you don't put pressure on him, he's fine.
Sam Darnold as a backup is not horrible. Like, if he's a backup, like, that's not a terrible backup for your team, I feel like.
Right. But you don't want that behind Bryce Young. Imagine we're in a playoff spot where we have to win a big playoff game against maybe the Buccaneers later on, and you have to have that win, and Bryce Young ends up on the IR. So you end up having to rely on Andy Dalton, who is terrible under pressure, to try to win that game for you. That's not good.
So that's why you want that second quarterback spot, right?
Mm-hmm. Need your mic, buddy. Need your mic.
Because this spot is so critical right now, and the Brian Burns situation is covering that up, which is a good thing around the league because people aren't talking about it. But it's bad for us too because we have to get that fixed, and as soon as we can.
So, like, what do you think are like? I'm really like. So if Brian Burns
I'm
doesn't
excited
go,
to see Bryce Young play, man. I just can't wait to see Bryce Young play.
Oh yeah, Bryce Young, I'm not even worried about. That's number 1 by a mile and a half.
I think Bryce Young is like.
He has checked all the boxes for me.
Yeah, like I know a lot of people like. I know a lot of people like no. I think personally for me, Bryce Young is definitely the best quarterback coming out of like. He seems calm. I've seen YouTube videos. He seems calm in the pocket. You know how a lot of rookie quarterbacks be. They be like shaky. I think Bryce Young was calm in the pocket. He looks excellent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Keep pounding. Like, he looks excellent in the pocket. What do you think?
I absolutely agree. I mean, I've been watching him since day 1 of training camp, and I mean, he's just every time that he's had to make a critical pass or rollout, he's been able to do it. He doesn't have happy feet like all these rookie quarterbacks usually have, when they come in.
Yeah, I mean,
and you have to iron that out.
You saw him in person.
Yeah.
You saw him in person.
Typically, you have to iron that out of these rookies, because, they had happy feet in college and it wasn't a problem for them, but once they get into the NFL, it's a big problem.
Keep pounding. Just a question. Did you get to see Cam Newton on his first day in training camp or no?
Not on his first day, no. But
did you get to see him in his rookie training camp?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yep.
So could you tell? Do you see some? For you, do you see some similarities or differences in between them?
They're completely different styles.
Obviously, but I'm just saying, do you see like any similarities? Keep pounding or no?
Yes, I actually do.
Exactly. That's
in particular, the 2-minute drill and his scrambling ability. The 2-minute drill. If you watch the 2-minute drill during training camp, oh my goodness, this dude Bryce was just zip, 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 right down the field. And I was just like, what are we doing with here? This is the next Cam Newton here.
That's awesome to hear, because I'm just excited to hear.
I want to see him in a 2-minute drill situation during a regular season game. I'm excited for that.
Oh my god. I don't know what it means.
So what's your score prediction for tomorrow?
What else you know?
That's a tough question.
Isn't score prediction at the near the end of the stream though? Keep on. I know you do all your score predictions and stuff.
I typically pick the teams. I don't typically do the score prediction. But if you'd like me to do that, I can.
Yeah. No. I know you. Yeah. You don't do the score. I know you do like teams predictions.
Yeah.
You did it every week like last year. That's awesome, man. I love your content, by the way.
Appreciate it.
So I got like a lot of money on this. Should I bet the over or the under on the points? What are we thinking?
I haven't seen the Vegas odds. What are they for this one?
So we got.
Was it like 3 or something like that?
They're favored by 3, and the over under is 40.
Wow, I called it. I said 3. These games typically come down to the wire, so I could definitely see 3, sometimes 7. When it comes to these rivalry games with the Falcons.
I feel like when we play Atlanta though, it's a good match for sure.
This is going to be a bit different because we've got the weaponry down, and we didn't before. So this is
just remember though we don't have DJ Chark.
But we have Thielen. Thielen is cleared to play. We just got word of that today.
Yeah, we do have Thielen.
Excellent news there. Very happy about that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Sure. I just would be a Chark, I just would be a Chark.
And Bryce has excellent chemistry with Thielen.
Yeah.
Saw it throughout camp.
That was probably the best.
Really excited for that.
Besides Summers.
Wait, keep on. Don't you think Bryce has better chemistry with Chark though, or what?
Right now it's Thielen. Right now it's Thielen. I want to see once Chark comes back whether that changes or not.
Even in the preseason, bro, he was throwing to Thielen like over and over again.
Yeah.
He caught the touchdown.
Thielen was running some really great routes, and he was getting open, and when Thielen is healthy, he is a absolute animal out there, and the numbers reflect that in Minnesota. So if we can get a healthy balance of passes towards him, I think that's going to be great. I'd like to see if maybe that chemistry goes towards Chark once Chark gets healthy, though. So I want to see what happens there. But for now, I do like the chemistry between Bryson and Thielen.
Do you think Thielen's going to lead us in receiving this year?
I actually think that DJ Chark will. If DJ Chark can get on that chemistry wheel, like Bryce has with Thielen right now, then yeah, DJ Chark easily gets the best receiving yards this year.
Keep on, guys. Get the stuff on my chest. Me and McKibben here, we're very big fans of Panthers. We talk about the Panthers all the time.
The government name is crazy.
And
Does it show my name?
And yeah, your content really helps us a lot on the. Your content's great. Like, we always listen to your content for Panther. Like, just remember, a lot of people out here, we love your content, man. And
appreciate it.
As Panthers fans ourselves, we are big Panthers fans. We always talk about the Panthers. Just remember, you have big Panthers fans out there that watch your content, and yeah, it's awesome, man.
Appreciate that so much. We're a family, and this is entering into the 4th year of this channel, and some people have been here since the beginning. Some people are just now jumping on board, and either way, you feel like family from day one that you joined the channel, and we're just gonna keep this train rolling through the good, the bad, the ugly, the Matt Rule,
You see Matt Rule get beat today again.
Yeah, well, we're talking about that.
I mean, we can talk about that too. I mean, we can have a lot of topics today. We had a lot of topics today.
Can I just say I feel really bad for Nebraska fans right now? They did not sign up for this, okay? They are the ones that are the victims here. They're the real victims right now.
The Nebraska fans felt good about Matt Rule too, which is crazy.
Are you serious?
They did.
Yeah, they do.
Wow. I mean, to a certain degree, I feel sorry for the players that are on that team. I feel sorry for half the coaching staff, that are not coordinators, and I feel sorry for the fans because, none of you guys signed up for that stuff in Nebraska. Come on, let's be real. But everybody else signed up for it, and they knew exactly what they signed up for. And they're still driving the bus over the cliff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The administration for Nebraska, I don't understand how you are actually that dumb after seeing him run Carolina off the cliff
Yo, keep pounding.
and still hire him.
I actually saw a clip. I saw a clip of Matt. I mean, I know this is out of the question, but I'm saying like this is what made me see Keep Pounding as a bad coach. I saw a clip of Keep Pounding, and all he said in the clip was he was coaching. What was the
Bro? Yeah, we know the clip, bro. The one where he's coaching the Senior Bowl or something.
And he said, the less I gotta coach is the more I gotta coach, something like that. Like, he's just not. Yeah, I know you saw that. Yeah, it was just a bad clip.
No.
He said, the less I gotta coach is the more I gotta coach, or something like that. Like.
Oh my goodness. Let me offer up a counter statement.
Oh, here we go.
A powerful counter statement that I heard today.
Here's the quote, guys. The harder you get coached, the more we have to then coach.
Oh yeah, that's the quote.
Oh my goodness.
Is he like fumbled around, like he like stumbled, like he didn't like say it all at once. Like he said it like he was like, the harder you get coached.
The harder. I gotta go watch the tapes. I gotta watch the tapes. I have no idea how to answer your question. I just gotta watch the tapes.
I don't know what about.
I can't with this guy. I can't.
I don't know what Davis Hepper was thinking, man.
Did he ever give a press conference that was actually where he gave answers for anything? Like, I swear.
Oh, I need 7 years to build an NFL franchise, man. No, you don't. Look around you. These teams are building these franchises in like 2 years now. Scott just built this roster in 1.
What did he say? Like, somebody, was it Jay-Z or something? Well, I don't remember.
Some Jay-Z garbage. Oh my goodness.
It was the Jay-Z 7-year thing.
He said Jay-Z did it in 7. I've only been here like 3.
Since we're relating that to music, okay, I got one for you. Guns N' Roses took forever to put out Chinese Democracy, okay? And it sounded awful when it finally came out. So, the amount of time does not matter. It's the quality. It's always going to be the quality. Oh, man. I can't with Matt Rule. I can't. 0-2. 0-2. That's all I'm going to say. 0-2. Dion just took you to school. He just showed you what a real ball coach looks like. And this is his first year actually coaching a team. And he still took you to school. Wow.
The Sanders family just really, yeah.
Yeah, watch out for Colorado, man. They're going to become a problem. real soon.
Deion Sanders doing a great job there so far.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I
Great
say
job.
go Deion, man. Go
What's your
Deion.
favorite college team?
I like Tennessee.
I am absolutely a Clemson man, and I was at the Clemson game today, as a matter of fact.
Oh, you're at the Clemson game?
Mm-hmm.
You like Will Shipley? Will Shipley?
Shipley looked real, man. He's the real deal.
Hop on, get back on. Yeah, that might be. I'm not gonna keep pounding.
I like Clemson too. Keep pounding. I like Clemson too.
I'm kind of a Clemson.
I mean, we're from the Carolina. We're from the Carolinas. Keep pounding, like We're
Yeah.
Panthers. We're a Panthers guru. We love the Panthers as much as you do.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
You going to the game next Monday?
The Saints game?
Monday night?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I will be in the building. I will be in the bank. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So will I.
Bet. Where you sitting at?
Oh shoot! Hang on. I gotta check.
I think I posted where my tickets were. I gotta double check.
I hope I make a Panthers game this year.
I think I actually did post where my tickets were. I gotta double check.
So you get to see Bryce Young in person
Yes, I do.
at an actual game.
I was actually there for the Black Helmets unveiling that Thursday night game as well.
Yeah, you were there. You were there for a lot of them, though. You were there for
I was there for the major ones
Fan
in
Fest.
2015.
You were there for Fan Fest, weren't you?
Yep, I'm there for Fan Fest every year. Which is
Yeah.
technically still counted as a training camp day.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's just a lackadaisical one, but it still counts as one. Man, I see these game preview picks. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing, NFL Network? What are y'all doing? What is this?
They don't want us to win.
Y'all trying to ruin our vibe right now.
They don't want us to win. NFL Network doesn't want us to win.
Which is
They-
odd
they-
because they talked us up during the 2015 season. You guys remember that, right?
They talked us up for this season too.
Yeah, and everybody else was trashing us during 2015, even though we were still going undefeated. And NFL Network's just like, rah, 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 Panthers.
They don't want the Panthers.
That's why
It
I
makes-
started watching just
makes
NFL
me
Network
mad.
content during that year.
It makes me mad. They don't
Yeah.
want the Panthers to win. The Panthers do not get love on the NFL. They never get love.
CBS, NBC, none of them.
CBS.
CBS is the worst one.
Yeah, CBS is the worst out of them. They never get the Panthers love. Never.
Oh my!
I'm not gonna lie to you.
That Lions game. Do y'all? Let me just address something about that Lions game because
Seats right, but I just sent a picture of like where I normally sit. I don't remember the section because it's like whatever. But
It's fine. We gotta talk about the CBS stuff because
I sent a picture in the chat.
They never
you
give
did?
the Panthers love.
okay, so let's talk about that Lions game as far as like what they did with broadcasting on that because that made me salty as heck. I don't know about y'all. I don't know if y'all watched the entire game, but that made me so mad. Okay, first half,
Wait, which
you know, we're doing fine. They're talking about our coaches and hyping them up and everything else, and I'm like, okay, CBS, you guys are starting to earn my respect. Second half, once we start trailing to the Lions, oh, Super Bowl 50. Let's talk about the fumble. Let's talk about all this other
that's
garbage,
incredible.
you know, and then they bring up all that other crap, you know, and I'm like.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I feel like that.
I'm like, you flip-flopping
Anytime we play-
savages.
That's what CBS does. Though. That's what CBS does.
They always do that.
Y'all are a bunch of flip-floppers, man. What are you doing?
You know what else? You know what else? CBS will bring up? They'll bring up Falcons 28-3. You know.
You know, interesting thing. They mentioned the last 6 games of last year, and they said, "Oh, we went 4-2," and it's like, you know, when they were hyping us up, it's like, okay, cool, you know, good. That's exactly what we want them to hype up. You know, we want them to address that plus our coaching staff, because our coaching staff looks great. You know, our players look great. Steve Smith was kind of doing his thing, you know, and saying what he was going to say. But NBC was just, Panthers are this, Panthers are that, Cam Newton fumble, Cam Newton this, Cam Newton that, in the second half. And I'm like, you flip-flopping savages. Like, I cannot even believe that. And it looked like the old CBS again. And it's just like,
CBS do not want the Panthers to win.
pick a side. Pick a side. Either you want to support what we're doing or you don't. Because it seemed like they understood what we were trying to build here. You know? It seemed like they understood.
NFL Network does. NFL Network seems they do. But
And this is the first.
Again, it's like CBS.
This is the first time I've actually seen a news network actually understand what we're doing in Carolina this offseason.
Yeah, I agree.
In the last 6 games of last year. Like, nobody else has really put that forward and really promoted us like that. Or if they did understand that stuff, they were not going to promote it, you know, because we're rah, 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 Panthers are terrible. You know, let's keep that narrative, you know.
They want to, yeah.
And it didn't matter what reporters you had under your umbrella, they're not going to report it because the management's just like, no, we're not going to support the Panthers at all. Doesn't matter what knowledge you come forward with.
Also, I just don't understand why everybody thinks the Saints are going to be like, I don't know, like that much better.
The media think the Saints and the Falcons are going to be like
good,
yeah,
really good.
They think they're
they really are hyping up the Saints right now. I don't understand.
Even when we competed better than them.
I don't understand the hype for the Falcons though, because the Falcons, yeah, they've got a good secondary. Yeah, they've got a few weapons in that offense, but I mean,
they don't even pass the ball.
Yeah, exactly. Who is actually scared of Mariota? Who here is scared of Mariota? Raise your hand if you're scared of Mariota.
They don't got Mariota. They're starting Ritter.
Yeah, Ritter.
Oh, they're starting Ritter? Oh,
yeah,
they're even worse than I
Ritter.
thought they were.
Yeah, we got a rookie quarterback next year, and we got Brian Burns starting and Justin Houston. So can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, for real though.
with Frankie Luvu.
Oof.
Like, are we not gonna talk about Frankie Luvu starting with that unit? Like, we got some talent starting with that unit, and we're going up against Desmond Ritter. They think we're scared of Desmond Ritter with that lineup.
With the pass rush, let's kind of slow our roll here because the pass rush, as pointed out by Blitzball, has been struggling on all levels.
Yeah, I agree. Our D-line... Yo, can we talk about our D-line for a second? We got, like, Nick Thurman. We got Nick Thurman. Like, can we talk about Nick Thurman and those two guys for a second? Like, we got...
My question is, are we hiding and disguising stuff for the regular season, or is that actually our pass rush level?
I hope we're hiding it, because I keep pounding. I did not see a lot of pass rush.
Oh my gosh.
I did not see a lot of pass rush like that, you know? Keep pounding.
Yeah.
We, like, the only pass rush I see is Brian Burns when he's not, like, he's not even playing on, I mean, I saw a little bit of pass rush on off-season, in the preseason, but that was from people that we didn't even sign back, except Wooten, except Wooten that you mentioned on stream.
And he actually just got promoted to 53, by the way.
Yeah, and he got promoted back, which I'm happy to see. Because
Me too.
We're actually signing back the people that shined in their preseason that actually wanted to get brought back. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
We brought back people that actually wanted to be brought back, the people that actually shined in the preseason. Instead of Matt Rule, that the people that didn't shine in the preseason, aka who would you want to call that shined in the preseason last year that didn't get signed back? I can't think of someone right now, but I know somebody.
Or like the 10 players that didn't make the roster that as soon as that were all Matt Rule's guys.
Yeah, I know the last 2 years, people we wanted to sign back didn't get signed back. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They were all Matt Rule's. Matt Rule's had to make space for his guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Just FYI, I got a point to make in a second, but I haven't upgraded the Zoom, so if it kicks you, just wait a minute and then jump back in.
Oh, no worries.
Once I get the new link in chat. So Matt Rule's guys. I mean, the biggest kryptonites that we got rid of were definitely
Keith Taylor.
I was gonna say Michael Jordan and Cameron Irving.
Oh, yeah, we
Humongous
definitely got rid of
kryptonites.
Yeah.
And I'd say our offensive line is good now. It's healthy.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I was hoping Deontay Brown would get into the 53-man roster because he would be the third rotational man. And what was interesting was they had him at left guard for the second strings and the right guard for the third stringers. So they were flexing him and seeing what he could do, at both positions. So, and he looked fine in training camp. He looked okay in preseason too. I didn't see any issues. So I don't know why he didn't make the 53. That's my question. What did they see in the next guy that made him end up in the practice squad that they didn't see in Deontay? And this is his second time ending up on the practice squad, by the way, because he was there last year too. But only because Matt Rule didn't know what the heck he had.
I'm surprised we dropped Deontay Brown.
You're thinking of the defensive tackle.
No, Deontay Brown, the O-line. Like, I feel like
No, we didn't drop him. He's on practice squad.
Oh, practice squad. Gotcha,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Which, this is his second year in practice squad. I would have liked to see him get on that 53-man roster and become the third rotational man, though. That would have really sealed our O-line. We would have no issues after that. I'd still like to have an extra tackle, for depth reasons, but right now, I'm willing to sit on what we've got. I think it's solid.
I'm honestly excited to see Miles Sanders play.
Yeah, I want to see what
Miles Sanders is going to absolutely pop off this year.
Are you playing lock? Yeah, I am.
I actually drafted him in both of my fantasy leagues, guys. That's how much I believe in Miles Sanders. And we're talking about a fantasy league that I've got 2 rings out of 4 years.
Yo, just remember Miles Sanders, he pops off.
Yes, he does. He carried the Eagles to the Super Bowl. A lot of
he has
people
great
don't want to
rushing
admit it,
yards.
but they know he did.
He has great rushing yards, great receiving yards.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Great pick. Great pickup, man. I had my eye on him ever since he hit the free agent market. Ever since.
Yeah.
And I said, if we don't sign our guy, and bring him back, it's got to be Miles. No question about it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Miles Sanders play.
Now, here's my question. Why is everybody pushing for a power back? I've heard that from multiple streamers. Why are we trying to push for a power back right now? Do you not believe that Chuba could do it?
We haven't seen Miles Sanders play yet, and the people are saying that.
Exactly. Like, I don't have a problem with our running back room. I think it's solid. I think we've got our 1-2 punch just like we had with D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart back in the day. We're good.
Yeah, we got Sanders, Hubbard, and Blackshear. I think they're gonna.
Yeah, Blackshear is definitely on the up and up. I'm liking Blackshear. He definitely developed a lot during preseason. Everybody's on Chuba's back, man. I look, Matt. All I'm gonna say is 2021 numbers. Chuba Hubbard, look them up. If you don't believe me, go look them up. Leave the man alone. I'm so tired of people trashing this dude, man. I'm so tired of it. What has he done to make you not believe in him? At any point. I'm just not drinking the Kool-Aid, man. I'm not drinking the tainted Kool-Aid from these other streamers on this one. I'm not doing it. You're not going to make me buy into that. I'm sorry. I think one of the other cuts that I was surprised at was Keith Taylor. And here's the thing, man. We pulled a money ball. That's exactly what we did. We pulled a money ball. Scott Fitterer said, okay, you're not going to try out Troy Hill in a preseason game? We don't even know if we're getting $1.2 million worth out of him until you try him. You don't even know. Is this dude washed up? Is he still good? What is he? Is he worth the 1.2? You have one game where there's no penalties, nothing that could harm us. Why are we not trying him out then? And trying to find out where he fits. But no, you're going to try out Keith Taylor out there who gets burnt constantly again and again and again and again. And I didn't see heads or tails of Troy Hill out there during the Lions game at all. Which, by the way, our channel was the first one to mention him. So, I want my credit for that one when Troy Hill works out for us. But, now, Frank has no choice. He has to try Troy Hill out. He has to. He has to put him at number 3. There's no other option, bro. Tell me he's not better than CJ right now. You're going to tell me that Troy Hill is not better than CJ? Come on. When Troy Hill has literally gotten a Super Bowl ring with the Rams and has already played under a Jarrell's defense.
Was he like their cornerback 3?
I mean,
Troy Hill.
It's got to be Troy. It's got to be. I'm sorry, but it's got to be. CJ, yes, you did make strides, and you locked up the number 4. No problem. I'm happy with that. You know, nobody's saying you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing here, man. You did great. You still got some issues. Yeah, everybody on this cornerback room has issues. Even Dante has issues. You know? So, you know. But you locked up the number 4. You made a convincing argument. Very, very convincing argument for number 4. And the Zoom meeting just ran out, so I'm going to... we gotta wait 9 minutes. Sorry, guys. It's Zoom. They won't let me do it. Yeah, it's not letting me do it. So yeah, just chill out and chat till we can get that up and running again. But yeah, shout out to Jeffrey Stamper. How you doing, brother? Man, you don't want to do Remember Talking Football evening? Oh, yeah. For sure. Let's go. Keep pounding his back. The Real Sunchild, shout out to you. Appreciate you. Yeah. Hopefully back with no background noise and distractions this time. Try to be professional, man. But those last few streams, oh boy. I apologize to y'all. I'm a lot more professional than that. But I can't control what goes on beyond me. You know what I mean? Not on game day. I try, but I can't. I just gotta find a better location is all. But yeah. Back to this Keith Taylor cut. That was a fascinating one for me. And it was a gutsy one. Because if you say we're gonna cut Keith, you gotta have a plan in mind. Anybody? Or we're signing another corner. Which is it? You know? So, we signed Troy Hill. We put him at number 3. And we said, okay, that's what we're going with. But my issue is, you don't have any practice with him in preseason with Troy Hill. So how do you know that he locks up that number 3 spot? Excuse me. How do you know? Well, you have to go on his previous history and what he's done in practices. And I think that's what Scott's doing here. And what else? The other thing I thought was interesting here is the fact that on cut day, we immediately got rid of the 2 kryptonites. You know, Cameron Irving and Michael Jordan. Immediately. We didn't wait. We didn't pass go. We didn't collect $200. We got rid of them before 10 a.m. Before 10 a.m., y'all. I'm sitting there like, are you serious? This man just did all this stuff before 10 a.m. That's a GM that's not messing around, man. That's a GM that is serious about winning and building this roster correctly. And I want to say thank you, Scott. You made the correct decision. And you will not regret it. I promise you. Another player I didn't think was really stepping up was Eric Rowe. I had issues with Eric Rowe during preseason there with coverage. And tackling as well. A little bit with tackling. So I'm kind of glad that he got pushed back to practice squad. We had plenty of safety help. We're good. You know? We don't need that. So, with that being said, Stanley Thomas Oliver, of course, was going to get cut either way. We all knew this. Come on. 3 years, he hasn't done anything. It's time for you to go and find greener pastures, buddy. You know? It just really is. You're not doing any more good here in Carolina. You're not moving up. You're not getting anywhere. Alright, most of you have heard this whole soliloquy before, so I'm just kind of powering through it. But for those that haven't, another bold move for me and I will never understand this. What are we doing with 5 tight ends? What are we doing with 5 tight ends? Make it make sense. What is the purpose for these 5 tight ends? Okay, Steven Sullivan is supposedly injured. Is he actually injured? Or is he just trying to get money at this point? What was his injury designation? Does anybody know? Throw it in chat if you know. Keep pounding. That's right, Tyrone. That's the energy around here, man. That's the energy. Keep it going. And Steven Sullivan hasn't done anything in 3 years. That's another Matt Rule move right there. Why is this dude still here? I don't understand why we don't just injury settle with him and stick with like 4 tight ends. And even then, like, that's a stretch. Like, I don't know what we're doing. With these 4 tight ends. If you're doing blocking plays, a lot of blocking plays maybe, I could see the purpose of having 4 tight ends. What's the max amount of tight ends that you can have on the field in one play? I think it's like 3, right? Is there an NFL rule on that or no? Does anybody know? Throw it in the chat if you know. Somebody look that up. I asked that in the car stream on the way back from Charlotte. I don't think anybody knew. So I don't know what Sky's and Tepper are doing. Have against Fitterer at this point. What do y'all have against Scott? You're thinking 3? 3 tight ends? That's my thought too. Because that's the most we've ever seen on the field before. I've never seen a 4 tight end set before. But it's... I mean, I'm not saying it isn't a rule at this point because I've never seen that rule. But right now, yeah, it's 3, I think. But yeah, let's address Scott real quick. What y'all got against Scott, man? What y'all got against Scott? I'm willing to hear opinions on this. I want to hear what people have to say. Don't just say, "Oh, Scott needs to go," and follow everybody else's trends. I want to hear your opinion. Why do you think Scott needs to go? Because I don't believe he does. I am probably the biggest Scott Fitterer supporter out there right now. So you have to show me. You have to sell it to me. And it's going to be a tough sell. I'm going to tell you that right now. But I'm willing to hear opinions. Just for entertainment's sake, I want to hear what people have to say. Because I'm probably not going to change my mind on this. It's the decision making for me. Okay. Tyrone, name some decisions you're not happy with that he's made. Give me some examples, man. Come in with some info. I really blame Tepper more than Scott. What are we blaming these guys for? We got a beautiful 90-man roster that became a beautiful 53-man roster right here. Minus 1 quarterback. I really don't understand getting rid of our best players. Number 1. Okay. Let me say this. During the time that Matt Rule was head coach here, Scott Fitterer was in handcuffs by Matt Rule. He put him in handcuffs. Okay, he manipulated him. And Scott is easily manipulated. It is true. It's true. Scott Fitter, if you're watching this, you may not want to hear that, but you know it's true. Okay? Come on, man. You know it's true. I got several examples of it. Matt Rule manipulated the heck out of you. He pulled your puppet strings for hours and hours and hours, buddy. Number 2, we got used, washed up players. No. These guys are not washed up players. Alright. What players do you think are washed up? What players do you think are washed up? Which ones? Who you think is washed up? I'll give you Andy Dalton for free. Alright? I'll give you Andy Dalton for free. The rest of them, you got to earn it with me. Sanders won a Super Bowl ring with the Eagles. Where have you been for the last 3 years? This man has a ring. What you talking about, washed up players? Okay, let's look at his stats. Since this is who you want to pull, that's the first name you want to pull, right? Man, please. 2022. This is last year alone. In postseason play, 4.2 average, 2 touchdowns, 148 yards in 2 games. Yeah, he had a fumble. Sure. Position rank 10th. 10th in the league. 10th. Now tell me, you tell me, how a 10th ranked running back in the league is washed up after he just got a Super Bowl ring a few years ago. I don't know why we signed Dalton when we beat him the last game. We signed Dalton to be a mentor for Bryce Young, which I think he's run his course. I'll give you Dalton. I will give you Dalton for free, bro. Because that one I agree. Alright. But Miles Sanders, I literally watched this man run like 50 yards on a draw play, breaking 3 tackles during fan day alone. Fan day and in 98-degree heat. Every single day of camp, this man broke out with a big run. Some days he broke out with 2 or 3. You want to tell me he can't do that again in regular season? Man, get out of here. Get out of here. That's cap. That's cap. I'm sorry. That's cap. Chark, Thielen. Okay, Chark. Let's go to DJ Chark. Now, if your theory is that if your theory is that we're going off of injuries, then yeah, you've got an argument when it comes to the wide receiver room. Because, yeah, these guys do have an injury history. But if you're going off of talent alone, okay. Sorry, I got a nasal issue. Because it's so doggone hot and we don't have air conditioning right now. Just ignore that. But okay. DJ Chark actually was leading the Detroit Lions receiving corps last year. I'm going to Google his numbers real quick for you guys. Just so people understand what we're dealing with here. And Thielen was leading the league, was leading the Vikings in receiving yards as well, who were a playoff contender, by the way. DJ Chark stats. Let's go with Pro Football Reference, because we want the most detailed stuff, right? Alright. So let's look at last year with the Lions. He played in about 11 games, so the Lions got tired of his injuries, and that's why they tossed him, because they didn't think that he was worth the money for the injuries. But he started 10 of those 11 games, got targeted 52 times, caught 30 of them. Okay, so I'll grant you he may have had a catching issue that year. 502 yards, 16.7 yards per reception. Y'all see this, right? Every one of these is above 10. Every year. 3 touchdowns last year. Now, when he played a full 15 games, he had 8. And that was in Jacksonville. Alright, so yeah, this dude's legit, man. If you can keep him on the field, he's legit. Okay, you're going off injuries. If you're going off injuries, alright, you got an argument. You got an argument there. I'll give you that. You got an argument. Chark, Thielen, and a couple others have actually had injury history. But if you can keep them on the field, you know, and one of those ways is getting rid of the turf, Mr. Tapper. Once again, we come to this crossroads conversation, and you just don't seem to want to do it. This is one way to protect your players, bro. And you don't want to do it for some reason. I don't get it. I've already explained why that's important. Hate it turned out that way. Yeah, but if you look at the injury list right now, you'll see that 2 of our wide receivers have knee injuries. Or ankle injuries. I'm sorry, ankle injuries. That's not a coincidence. That's the turf, bro. That's the turf. Back injury, that's turf. That's turf and football related injuries. Okay? I'll designate it that, because yeah, you can have back injuries with football related injuries. But the ankles, that's 2 out of the list. That's turf. That's a pattern. It's been about a year since they changed the turf. That's rule number 1. Yep. Yeah, that's on Mr. Tapper. And I've been adamantly on that war horse for like the past year. So, Tyron, you know, you're not new on that one, buddy. I've been on that train for about a year now. So, but I think if we wait these guys out, injuries wise, I think we'll be okay. And don't try to rush them onto the field. Trust your training staff. Okay? This is the first year we're not actually questioning our training staff. You know, And I find it funny that Ron Rivera's training staff actually got investigated. So, there you go. That's not a coincidence. I was starting to see a pattern, guys. And they started looking into it. Me too. Safety is the number one priority. Good, man. Good. Absolutely agree. That's the best take so far, man. Absolutely agree. But yeah, Andy Dalton is starting to look like Sam Darnold 2.0. We can't have that during the regular season. Can't have it. So that's why I agree with you there. And I've been watching it all throughout camp and all preseason. And it started in Chicago when they didn't give him a line. Every time he saw pressure, he froze up. He didn't know what to do. I'm going to put the Zoom link out. There we go. That's the new Zoom link. Go hit that up if you want to join in. Yeah, let me see if we get the Zoom back up. I gotta switch it out real quick. Hold on. But yeah, Indy has been a major concern for me. I don't like that we are going into 2023 with just Andy Dalton. That concerns me, bro. I don't like that at all. I really wish we had why is it not showing up? I wish we had kept Jake, though. I see potential with Jake. And he's cheap. He's easy. Easy to get. Yeah. If Matt Corral's not going to do anything with Bill Belichick in 2 weeks, he's not going to do anything at all. That's just point blank. That's why nobody's signing Cam Newton either. Because they realize it. Yeah, and as evidenced by that great touchdown pass that Jake threw in the Lions game, you know, that's what I'm basing that off of. Because if Jake can throw passes like that every once in a while, he can do more than that. Yeah, Cam is done. We're not even talking about him no more. Now, here's my question. You got Jake out there. We got $11.5 million. We're trying to negotiate a deal with Brian Burns. We need a third quarterback. Wentz is out there on the free agent couch. Matt Ryan is out there on the free agent couch. Both could benefit Bryce in different ways, coaching him up. But are you willing to pony up? Probably not. So Jake is your option. And even then, we're still struggling to come up with the money because Brian Burns' agent is asking for $28 million. Which, I mean, is fair. Because My target range is somewhere in between 25 and 28. You don't want to ask for more than 28, but you don't want to ask for less than 25. As an agent, because you're not doing your job right. Considering the Nick Bosa signing. So, yeah, we do have another nose tackle, but where are we going to get another Brian Burns? That's not how it works, though. That's not how it works, Tyrone. Your cap money is what you got. The owner can't pump money into it. Once the cap is set, it's set. You can't pump money into it afterwards. I don't think people understand that. This isn't Madden. This isn't baseball. Where the owners can put money into their franchise and keep that cap going. You don't have that in the NFL. Once that cap is set, it's set. And you have to deal with whatever money you got. You got to move whoever you got. You got to restructure whoever you have. In order to make things work. Yeah, so Barno is developmental. I think eventually he will become a potential starter, but right now he's not ready. He's not ready at all. I like him as a backup, yeah. But he's nowhere near ready. Haynes is still injured. YGM is not it. I can tell you that right now. YGM is not it. So, and don't forget we got I think it was Camus. Wasn't that his name? Camus? My brain is not the best this week. I've had a lot going on. So, please forgive me if I get the name wrong. I think they probably trade Burns. Here's the thing. If we were going to trade Burns, we would have done it already. Think about this. And people are so quick to forget this. We turned down 2 offers last year at trade time. At trade deadline time. 2 first rounders. 2 teams offered us that. 2 teams. And we turned both down. Then, and I'm not done, Tyrone. I'm not done. The Bears would have taken Brian Burns in that trade for the number 1 pick instead of DJ Moore. They would have taken him, bro. But we said no. It's DJ or not at all. I don't know what's taking them so long to pay Burns. Because we don't have the money, bro. We have $11.5 million in cap right now in the black. And we're offering 23. We're offering money we don't even have to try to extend him right now. We're offering him money we don't even have. Ugh. This man is under contract for the entire year. Just franchise tag him. We got $53 million in the bank for next year with no dead cap, man. What are we doing this for? What are we doing right now? I understand this could be a distraction for our other issues, and that's fine. But at this point, I'd rather them see our other issues. That way, everybody knows them, and we can get them addressed. So therefore, we could get two players for him and salary for him. They could get 2 players for Burns and salary for him. I mean, let me bring up a point that was actually made today that somebody actually called attention to. Twan actually said this. Give Twan credit. Twan Don. He said that he's actually matching Greg Hardy's numbers. And if you go and look at those numbers, they do actually match up. Career-wise. So, I mean, just out of curiosity, how much was Greg Hardy actually being paid back then? How much did we pay him? Does anybody know? I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look that up real quick. Alright. So according to Spot Track, he spent about 5 seasons with us. And at the time he was being paid about $13 million. You know, in his last year in 2014. Okay, so just to look at how much inflation has risen since then. Now we're doing with $25 to $28 million for Brian Burns. And that's just Brian Burns. We're not even talking about Nick Bosa, who's getting paid way too much. That shows you how bad inflation is right now in the NFL. And the quarterbacks are worse. Way worse. Don't even get me started on the quarterbacks, man. We'll be here all night. So, my issue is, you know, what is the number you would be willing to accept to re-sign Brian Burns? What's the number? Everybody's got a number. What's yours? I say 27. I say 27. Meet in the middle. Because 28's the max that I would offer. Any more than 28 and you're pushing way too much money. I don't care what inflation says. You're pushing too much. And we're still paying CMC. Yep. Darnold and Bridgewater. Yep. Facts. Facts. I say no more than 28. Facts. That's big facts right there. Right on the mark. I said that before even the other streamers were saying 28. So, I just didn't say it publicly. Just wasn't 100% sure that that's what everybody else was going to throw out there as well. And everybody did. So, yeah, 25 to 28 mil. I say 27. We should pay him 27. That's my number. That's my number. That's if we had the number. We had the money to do so. Zoom is back up, by the way, if you guys want to join up. Link is in the pinned post. But yeah, 27 shows us that we value Brian Burns for who he is and what he can do. And for his double-digit sacks that he finally achieved last year. And at the same time, not blackballing him. You know. But also, you know, we're also showing him we want him to stay. You know. But the problem is we're offering money we don't have. Where are we getting the rest of that? What, is Scott going to start working at the Quickie Mart and earn the rest of that money for him real quick? You know? You know, and get it for him under the table? What are we doing here? Why are we offering him money that we don't have? That's why I was suggesting way early on, let's get the ball rolling. Let's get that number out there before we start making moves. You know? It's too late now. Cat's out of the bag now. We got everybody else we need. Now, we're sitting here going, okay, well, we do still have him under contract, but now we're trying to offer money we don't have. So which one is it? You know? And we chose the second one. We chose the second road. Which is okay, since we have him under contract. You know, there's no bad road here to go down out of the two. The problem is, once you get to the negotiating table, and you don't have the money, you're screwed. So, bad decision making from the front office, but Rule messed that up. No. Or else Burns needs to play up his current contract. Yeah. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we do have the franchise tag option later on. With $53 million in the bank next year and no dead cap. So, I mean, yeah, it's there. But, you know, at the same time, it's not. You know what I mean? Because we've got to maintain this roster. We've got to keep all of these guys here for as long as we possibly can. Those that are not under contract are the ones that are going to come up next year. Next offseason. Burns is nowhere near Bosa. That's true. That is true. I'll grant you that. But would you not agree that Burns is a top 10 pass rusher in the league? Would you not agree on that? Because that's how I feel about him. That's why I'm saying 27 is my number. I don't want to push 28 because it's too much. You know, any more than 28 is too much. 25 or below is too little. You're going to lose him. He's gone. That's a guaranteed he's gone. So you want to find a happy medium in there. And it's the same agency that actually signed Bosa too. Not the same agent, but the same agency. So I want to clarify that again. I said that earlier, but I want to clarify that again. And this agency is looking for a lot of money, you know, from these organizations to keep these players. I just don't want to see us have another Josh Norman situation. Because I want to know who's driving the bus here in this negotiations. Who's driving the bus? Is it the agency? Is it the player and the agency? Or is it the GM as well? You know, who has the leverage? Who has the leverage and who's driving the bus here? Because if you're not careful, that bus is going to go over the cliff. And it's teeter-tottering right now. Scott and Tepper are driving it. Okay, so if you say that Scott and Tepper are driving it, Tepper ain't got nothing to do with these negotiations. He's just sitting in his luxury boxes just watching the fun. Sipping his tea, still being stingy and stubborn, and penny pitching on the turf. So it ain't Tepper. Okay? It's Scott. All the way Scott. Yeah, I mean, Brian Burns has probably had a few conversations with Tepper, sure. And Nicole as well. I wouldn't doubt that, you know, for even a minute. But it's either Scott, Brian Burns, or the agency driving this bus. One of the three. And it can't be two of three of those. It can sometimes be the player and the agency if you got a decent agency, but when you have a delicate situation like that, one of the three has to be driving the bus. And they're taking all of us right along on that bus with them. Because we're all the school passengers, you know what I mean? We're about to drive off of a cliff. And you got maybe a few hours to turn that bus wheel and get back on the road before you go off the cliff. And they just told us on Twitter they're not getting this contract done before the Falcons game. Okay. So, the short bus of that. Yeah. I knew you were going to go there, Tyrone. Man, I knew you were going to go there, bro. Nah. If we're driving the short bus right now, then the bus that Matt Rule was driving was one of those clown buses. He was driving those clown cars. We were all trying to fit into his clown car and hope to God we survived the last 2 years. If that's the way we're going with that. Oh, God. But, okay, yeah, back on track. Back on track. Don't even get me started on Matt Rule, because we'll be here all night. Literally all night. And I got stuff to do tomorrow. He was driving the Jeepers Creepers bus. Man, you oh my God. You got me up here hacking, bro. I'm dead. I'm dead. Your boy said Matt Rule was driving the Jeepers Creepers bus. can't with y'all, man. I can't with this chat sometimes, I swear. Oh, shoot. That was good. It is 14. Yeah. That's a fact. That's a fact right there. Man. Golly. So, yeah. Back on track. Well, I'm coughing up a lung. Dang, this heat's gonna kill me, y'all. This dry air, man. Anyway, you excited to see what we look like today? Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's time to put all that money onto the field and see what we get. You know what I'm saying? Like, we spent like $63 million, upwards of $70 million probably, to get this roster done. It's time to put that $70 million on the field and get it done, man. Falcons, man, we coming for you. We coming for you. We are coming for you. This is not your typical Panthers team anymore. Scott put this roster together. 75% of this roster was all Scott. That's what happens when you take off the training wheels and the handcuffs, and you get rid of the Happy Meal, McNuggets, and the French fries off the O-line. That's exactly what you get. You get a beautiful, healthy 9-course meal, man. You get a doggone beautiful buffet, man. Paying $39 million for a rookie, Bryce Young. Yeah, but I mean, it's like what, $10 million a year out of the cap. See, that's the thing. And $10 million is manageable, man. We can do that. It's a little high for a rookie quarterback, but inflation. You know what I mean? You can have that conversation all day long, but it all comes down to inflation again. So, and inflation by itself is not a bad thing, but as long as it doesn't get out of hand, like it has been, and COVID only delayed it. That's all it did. It delayed it. It basically pressed the pause button on Madden, you know? And then as soon as everybody got back to normal, hit that play button, there goes inflation right back up again, like it never left. I want to see Hayden Hurst step up. Yeah, absolutely. Hayden Hurst will step up for you. And everybody here, man. Hayden Hurst is a beast. He's a workhorse. I could tell that from day one. First thing that man did was cut a $150,000 check to a mental health place, man. I'm like, that's a first impression right there. That man impressed me right out of the gate. He didn't even have to step on the field. He impressed me already. That tells me what kind of a man he is. And what kind of a tight end we're dealing with, man. I like this guy. That's my kind of tight end right there. That's my kind of guy. I love players like that. Y'all know how big I am on mental health, man. Y'all know how much of a struggle that is for people around me. If you know me at all. I don't mess around with that junk, man. I take that completely serious. So, when I saw that $150,000 check, I was just like, yeah, boy. Show me who you are. He didn't even have to say a word in a presser, man. He just cut that check and I was just like, yep. Yep, that's my new tight end right there. You take Hurst and Thielen over Tremble? Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good take. I agree. I give Ian Thomas one more year under proper management this time. Let's see if he can break that glass ceiling. If he can't, we're drafting a tight end. Now the question is, if you draft a tight end, where are you going to draft him at? That's a conversation nobody wants to have. Because that really puts us in a position. We can either go after a free agent or we can draft a tight end. And at the moment, it'll depend on what we can retain and what we can't out of this roster at the end of the year, what our needs are going to be. So I feel like we'll cross that bridge when we get there. If that's a proper answer for people on that. I know they're not going to want to hear it, but yeah, that's pretty much the only answer I've got for you. But once we do cross that bridge, I mean, yeah, Ian Thomas is a blocker. Yeah, he is. He can also catch, but he's having trouble with that lately. He's got the skills, you just have to develop him correctly. And our coaching staff before this was not doing that at all. They left him to his own devices, and everybody went down. Everybody. Everybody degraded. Everybody. How are you going to ask these players to develop themselves at the NFL level? Who does that? Who asks that? You're literally in the NFL level, and you're asking these players to develop themselves. Man, I can't with Matt Rule and that clown nonsense, man. I can't. I knew something was fishy going on when we didn't do those 2-minute drills in training camp last year. And Teddy called that junk out, man. Teddy had full right to do that. Good job, Teddy. Good job, Teddy. I'm proud of you. That's a good move. You were right to do that. And I don't care how much flack that dude got for it. I don't care how much heat that brought to our Panthers organization. We needed that. We needed that tough love. Because if you don't practice that 2-minute drill, watch that happen in real game situations. Watch what happened when we got in the goal line. During 2-minute situations, man. We couldn't find that in. Bruh. We could not find that end zone for anything. For anything. We couldn't even get out of our own 50-yard line most of the time. We couldn't even get out of our own yards Couldn't even get past the 50. How are you going to put points up on the board if you can't even get past your own 50? Man, and oh man, and Joe Brady, don't even get me started on Joe Brady. Oh my God, that might well be the second worst offensive coordinator we've ever had. That might be the second worst. The worst one we ever had. Oh my God. At least we got field goals with him. Some of y'all aren't even old enough to remember this one. Some of y'all weren't Panthers fans long enough to remember this one. Do y'all remember back in the John Fox days when we had that offensive coordinator that called a draw play on every first down? Literally every first down play. Oh, it's going to be another draw play. Let's load the box. Let's shut it down. Oh, y'all got a first... We're in a first down situation again? Draw play. Draw play. Draw play. Draw play. It's like... It was the most vanilla first down play call I have ever seen in my life. And I wanted to hit my head against the wall. Mike Shula, thank you. Mike Shula was the worst offensive coordinator we've ever had. By far, it's not even close. Every team in the league knew it too. Even teams that didn't even play us knew that we were running it on first down. Even college teams knew we were running it on first down every time. I mean, come on, man. That was the biggest joke, bro. That was the biggest joke. Yeah. I do not miss those John Fox days at all. I don't. I'm for real. I don't miss them. Mainly because of him. I do, but I don't at the same time because of the players from back then. Because you had Mike Rucker, you had Steve Smith, you had all those great players back then. Yeah, I miss the players, but I don't miss what was going on during the time. We were so predictable, yeah. Oh my God. Lord help me, y'all get me on these subjects sometimes. I'm telling you. I don't even want to take that road down that and get kicked. He was a good coach. I can see that. He was a defensive coordinator. He was not a head coach. I'm sorry. If anybody thinks that he is a head coach, no. No. He never was a head coach. He was a defensive coordinator. He might have held the title of head coach, but he was a defensive coordinator. He was a glorified one. Because when it came to offense, that man did nothing for us. He left that 100% in the players' hands and the coordinator's hands. He just said, look, man, I'm washing my hands clean of this offense. That's y'all. I'm just managing the players. And don't get me wrong, John Fox was an amazing defensive coordinator. You know, amazing. Probably the best in the league at the time, next to Belichick himself. But as a head coach, nah. Nah. But I just wanted to make sure to give John Fox his due, man. I love that guy. I love that guy as a person, man. I love him. I'd sit down and have a conversation with him. Absolutely. And you know, any of these players, I would sit down and have a conversation with them and tell them exactly what I'm saying on stream. Y'all know this. Y'all know I don't mess around. I say it like it is. And I say, okay, if you're not that great, here's how you can improve your game. You know? Here's how you can get better. I'm not calling players trash no more. I'm not doing it no more. Because I want to uplift and encourage players to get better. Because I care about their well-being, man. Because let's all remember, they're not just players. They're not just numbers on jerseys. These guys are people. They're human beings, just like us. They have a heart. They have emotions. You know? They have minds. You know? And they have limited body time where they can get the most out of their bodies before they retire. You know, just like us. Just in a different way. At the end of the day, it's a business. And you got to have the best 53-man roster possible you can have. Speaking of the best 53-man roster possible, Atlanta certainly does not have that. Let's get into them. Our defense should be fine, but our O-line has some work to do. Yeah. Mainly Icky right now. Icky had a rough preseason. The last 2 games of the preseason. I think everybody else looked alright. They looked okay. You know. Once you got rid of the rotten apples, I think the O-line looked great. You know. You just got to stop rotating MJ and Cameron Irving in there. With the ones when you know that that's not a great idea. I don't want to see that rotating junk happening during the regular season, Frank. I don't want to see it. No. You stick with the starting 5 and you stay with them. Once you settle on your starting 5, stick with them. Yeah, Icky has got to get it together, yep. I think he will. Once he starts playing with Zavala, that's going to help him. Yeah. Glad MJ and Irving are gone. Both of them gone before 10 a.m. on cut day. Both of them gone before 10 a.m. I was like, hey, man. Praise Jesus. We ain't got these two on this O-line no more. We can start taking care of business now. Now we can get serious with this offense. We can get down to business now. That's how I felt like. We were just holding ourselves back with these two, with the 90-man roster. I was just like, yeah. And once they're gone, it's like, alright. Time to put the pedal to the metal now. It's go time. Yeah, Icky did well last year, yeah. It's the second year curse, man. It's the second year curse. That's what I feel like it is. He'll bounce out of it. I ain't even worried about it. Yeah, I was happy once I seen those two left. Yeah, man. It's like we can finally get down to business. No more of this rotational garbage. We're going to play musical chairs with these guys and put them wherever we would, whatever wacky situations might pop up. Nah, bro. Nah. I like the pieces we have now, and Zavala played well. Me too. We get that third quarterback. I do not see a weakness on this roster. I don't see one. Find me one. Besides CJ, find me one. And CJ's the obvious one. I'm being for real. Find me one. When these guys are healthy and they are producing, find me one. And don't say injuries, because injuries have always been a problem. Injuries are always there. That's a part of football. I'm going to tell you right now. Look at it. On paper, from top to bottom. Top to bottom. And find me a weakness. If everybody believes that Andy is who they think he is, and he's that golden boy Andy that he used to be, and we get a third quarterback, find me a weakness. Find me one. Because you're not going to find one. You're not. It's a fact. That's not a joke. That's a fact, man. That's a straight fact. Y'all can laugh at it all you want to, but it's a fact. And we're going to get rid of... We're going to find CJ's replacement next year, too. Nope. Dalton's still there. Dalton is still there, bro. Alright, so here's the thing. If you release Dalton, who you getting? Who you signing? We only got 11.5 mil, bro. We're trying to figure out this Brian Burns deal extension right now. Offering him more than we have. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. It's Jake or nobody at this point. And right now, Frank says nobody. And I know Scott is just biting his tongue, just saying, let me get Jake. Let me get Jake. Let me get Jake. I want to complete this roster. We're so freaking close, dude. I know Scott is saying that right now. Tell me he ain't. Why is it every time we build a roster like this? File bankruptcy. Man, I wish. I wish, man. This ain't Monopoly. Oh, man. Let me put that in the Monopoly terms for you. Okay, that's after you buy all those red hotels, right? All those red hotels on the map. And then you go file bankruptcy. Just because you can't get your third depth choice quarterback. Just because you can't get that last red hotel, right? And somebody else outbid your butt for it. That's what we doing with right now. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Somebody please tell me I'm wrong. Oh, man. Panthers win today 20-17. I can see that being realistic. I'm thinking more 24-17. 24-17. Because we're going to end up with a field goal in there. That Falcons secondary is stingy. They got AJ Terrell. They got some good corners in that list. I'm going to show you the corners real quick. You got AJ Terrell. You got Mike Hughes. You got Jeff Okuda. You got Trey Flowers. Trey Flowers, I really like Trey Flowers, man. He came from the Chiefs. This dude's a baller, but he's only got a few years left in him. Yeah, so that secondary is no joke. We're going to have to throw some darts, which Bryce is throwing some darts. I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about that at all. What I'm worried about is Thielen getting hurt again. We need this dude healthy. AJ Terrell's out? Oh! I haven't heard any of these Falcons injuries yet. So update me, man. Update me. I'm just looking at this Falcons defense right now. That's all we focus on right now. We're going to look at the Falcons offense in a minute. We still got to deal with Grady Jarrett. And Grady Jarrett is a monster. Okay? Grady Jarrett's a monster. They also added Zach Harrison. You know, they've got David as well. Omanyacha. I think that's how you say his last name. I never could get that right. But yeah, he's pretty good too. Caden Ellis. Otherwise, I ain't worried about Richie, and I ain't worried about Jesse Bates. Right now. I'm not saying they can't become a problem, but I ain't worried about them right now. Yeah, Jared is good. Which side do you think they're going to put Jared on? They're going to put him on Icky's side? They're going to put him on Icky's side? It's going to be Icky versus Grady Jarrett. If that happens, I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I just don't want to see Trey Flowers play, man. Because Trey Flowers, yeah, he's got some coverage issues, but that man can tackle, man. You're not getting any yards after the catch after that dude, man. If that ball goes anywhere near, you get what you get. Once you catch that ball, you get what you get. That's how he operates, man. That's always how he operates. I've watched him long enough to know that. Lorenzo Carter. Lorenzo Carter's the new one, isn't he? D'Angelo Malone. Mike Hughes. Alright, since AJ Terrell's not in, we're going to be seeing Mike Hughes. So we need to take advantage of that matchup. We need to put Thielen on Mike Hughes. TMJ is playing? Okay, good. Good. Our main focus is stopping the run? Yeah. I agree with that. Now, here's the thing about stopping the run. Our second stringers, our third stringers, and our fourth stringers can stop the run. But why couldn't the starters? That's not just the Lions game. That's the Giants game, too. Now, why do y'all think that might be? I want some theories. Throw them out there. I want to hear what y'all think. What do you think we should do about that? Because I've been playing around with that in my head for about 2 weeks now. And I still don't have anything. Because it's either you believe in the starters or you don't. Really. But John Robinson is good. Our starters are just lazy. That's a bold statement right there. Ooh, boy. I don't know if I'd be saying that in this chat, buddy. Because we had 2 or 3 players come through here before. In this chat. You lucky it's 4 or 5 in the morning. I don't think they're going to be jumping on this chat right now. But they do watch these replays, though. They see somebody calling them lazy. Ooh. I don't know about that one. I would take a chill pill there, buddy. You don't ever hear me saying they're lazy. Unless they actually are being lazy. Because they actually were being lazy during Matt Rule's time. They didn't even care. They didn't give 2 iotas when we had Matt Rule in as our head coach. Everybody knew it too. They took full advantage of it. They ran circles around our butts. And we need pass rushers, yeah. Derek Brown, lazy? Nah, bro, nah. Now you capping. Now you capping, man. Now you capping. You in capping land. You capping, man. That man is anything but lazy. I will vouch for that man's work ethic all day long. I haven't even... Guys, I barely met that man for all of 5 seconds. Just to get an autograph. I could already tell you. That is not in his DNA to be lazy. It's not in it. Frankie Louis, the only guy getting after the ball. See, you basing all this stuff on preseason stuff, man. When we already know what Derek Brown could do. We already know what Louis could do during regular season play. I don't have to question those two. I never even have to give those two a second look in preseason. Unless they gave me reason to. You know, for a negative play or something. Then I'll pay attention. But if you're a vet and you're a baller, like Frankie and Derek Brown, I ain't even going to give you a second look. I don't need to. I trust you. I trust that you're going to do well for me. If I'm a coach, man. I wish Derek Brown played like he did in Georgia. Ooh. Go Dog Sickle. Man. Y'all know I got love for Georgia, man. Georgia's a great university, man. Y'all got some great players there. You know I gotta stick with my Clemson Tigers, though. But, hey, I got love for Georgia players, too, man. Y'all got a great coach over there, too. But both are Matt Rule products. Let me tell you something. Even a dog finds a bone in the backyard once in a blue moon, man. Even a squirrel finds his nut. You know, first thing in the morning. Every once in a while, man. But how many of those are you going to before you start stacking up a dinosaur, man? You know what I'm saying? Like an archaeological dinosaur. And that's exactly what Matt Rule's career is. It's a dinosaur. It's washed up. So, you know, and I equate that to, you know, those like fake gem mines that you find around towns, you know, those fake gold mine things, and you get to take home like the diamonds and rocks and stuff out of it. That's Matt Rule. He's just sifting through all that dirt, just hoping that something cans out. And when it doesn't, he just goes, yeah, well, I got another $100 in the bank. Why not? Let's keep doing it. Let's keep doing it. Let's keep doing it. Something's got to shake out. Something's got to shake. Nope. Nope. Give me another pan. That man's just trying to find some gold in here, and it ends up being pyrite. It straight up ends up being pyrite. Oh man. It's fool's gold, man. Now Nebraska, how in the world is your athletics department that dumb? How? How? Please explain to me how. After watching him create a dumpster fire in Carolina, you're still going to hire this man. How? I said it at the beginning of the stream, man. I feel so bad for the Nebraska fans right now. I really do. I feel bad for half the coaching staff. I feel bad for the players. Because y'all didn't sign up for this crap. Y'all did not sign up for that garbage. Now, the athletics department did. The coordinators did. Y'all chose to work with Matt Rule. Y'all got no excuse. Y'all got no excuse. And Tepper still paid him. Yeah, exactly. How much? Man, please. I don't know how many of y'all seen Scott Fitterer's actual paychecks. How much he gets paid. But Matt Rule is getting paid like 6 or 7 times what Scott Fitterer should be paid. Let me say that right now without saying the actual number out there. I ain't gonna say it. Don't look it up. I don't want that going public. But the numbers that Matt Rule is making right now off of Tepper and getting them fat checks right now is what Scott Fitterer should be paid. Point blank, I said it. I said it. All you Scott Fitterer haters, come on down. Come on down. I know y'all got something to say. I know y'all got something to say. Come on down. Get it out your system. Because I know it's coming. Man, I'm telling you. $67 million. $67 million. Man, get the heck out of here. We still got to pay for it. Man, shoot. That's some doggone horse hockey, man. That's some doggone horse hockey. I guarantee you that's triple what Barnum and Bailey Circus is worth right now. That's triple what Barnum and Bailey Circus was worth before they went out of business. At the height of their career as circus entertainers. I can't. I can't. Oh, I can't. Oh, I don't want to be here all night talking about this clown, man. I don't. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Tyrone, you made me do this, bro. You made me do this with these comments, bro. Why? We got too much content to be clowning around with this garbage, man. We got too much. Alright, let's get back to the content. Oh, freak, man. And again, you know, like I said, I don't want Scott Fitter's numbers getting out there. Do not put them anywhere out there. You can look up Frank. You can look up Matt Rule. I don't care about those two. Do not make Scott's numbers public. Please. Keep those to yourself. For now. We're not going to talk about that. There's a reason. I'm not going to state that reason right now. But there's a reason I don't want that number going public. And if you put it in chat, I'm not going to read it. Alright, so Falcons offense. We're dealing with Mac Hollins. We're dealing with Kyle Pitts. Jake Matthews. Matthew Bergeron. Drew Dahlman, Chris Langstrom. Langstrom was one of the guys on my list, wasn't he? Y'all remember guys on my list? At right guard. And the Falcons got him. Lord help us, man. That's the third time in like 10 years the Falcons have stolen a pick from us, bro. Because they got A.J. Terrell as well. That one made me mad. I wanted A.J. Terrell in a Panther uniform so bad, bro. Because we've had so many corner issues when that man was drafted. But yeah, Lindstrom is the second one, man. You got Jonnu Smith at tight end. I don't even know who Jonnu Smith is. Drake London. Drake London's dangerous. Scotty Miller is a solid backup. But John Robinson, yeah, he's got some wheels. We're gonna have to worry about him a little bit. He's got some wheels. But Tyler is your power back guy. Tyler Alligator. Algier. I always mispronounce these names, man. Y'all have to forgive me. I always... Is that who I think I see at backup quarterback right now? Is that who I think I see? Man, please tell me I'm seeing things. We're getting $36 million. Alright. Bet. That's a fair price. Tyrone, please tell me you seeing this, right? You seeing this name in the quarterback room, right? I'm not just seeing things. This is legit. That's another former quarterback and another former Panther in a Falcon uniform. I don't care how good or bad he is. That's another Panther player in a Falcon uniform, and that makes me frustrated. Somehow or another, the doggone stupid Dirty Birds end up with our former players. I don't know how they managed to do it. Them and the Saints both. I don't know how they managed to pull that crap off. Y'all got Cordell Patterson. Cordell Patterson is a pretty good one, man. What's J? What is J? Back there, but we're not actually going to use them. Just kidding. I don't know. What's his name? Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke, man. The Heineken beer. Quarterback, man. I said that for David, man. I knew that was a funny joke for him. Inside joke. The Heineken beer quarterback. That's pretty much all he was good for. He ended up riding the bench and drinking beer, man. When he wasn't playing. I'm just messing with you, Taylor. I'm just playing, bro. With all the losses the Falcons are going to rack up, though, he may as well grab some Heinekens. They going to need him to drown out the sorrows. Washington should have kept him. Debatable. You remember him and Kyle Allen. Yep. That's a fact. That's a fact. So I got a question. What does J represent? I've never seen that before. Legit question. What does J represent? They have a new offensive system, so I don't know. That's weird. Is he a joker? Is he a jack of all trades? What is he? What is Cordell Patterson? Or is it just kidding? You know, we could put Cordell Patterson out there, but we're just kidding. He's the distraction. The one you got to worry about is Kyle Pitts, man. Kyle Pitts is dangerous. Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson. Yep. Desmond Ridder. Can throw it to these guys, but they're only going to get so far. It's not going to be enough. Scotty Miller. Defense. We got Lorenzo Carter. I'm just looking at the backups right now. D'Angelo Malone, Mike Hughes, Clark Phillips III, Young Shu Koo. He's actually a really solid kicker. Underrated kicker. He's one of those kickers that will end up on the fantasy listing and draft picks up until the last like 3 or 4 rounds. It's for people that haven't chosen a kicker yet, but you know he's still in that solid top third of kickers. J possibly means juggler. Yeah, we shut Pitts down last year. He's a good kicker, though. Yep. We did shut Pitts down last year. That's true. Did we put Shaq on him? Who do we put on him? Was it Frankie? We put Frankie on him. Put somebody good on him. Anyway, that's your Falcons roster, man. One tight end. There's actually 2 tight ends I want people to be aware of that are up and coming in the league. And you saw one of them in that Thursday night game when Kelsey went down. Yeah, I think Frankie was the one that was covering Pitts. Okay. Good. Yeah, 2 tight ends. One of them you saw take over for Kelsey on Thursday night. And the other one is with Minnesota. He's either a second or third stringer, but that dude was a beast. I saw that man cut like a wide receiver and just leave a defensive safety in the dust for a touchdown. I was like, dang. Count me in for this dude, man. Let me look him up real quick. I think I remember what number it was, too. 45, I think it was. Oh, did Tony die? Was it Tony die? Oh, no, that was the linebacker. Let me see. I gotta find this guy's name because this dude's a future Pro Bowler for sure. He's gonna fight for a number 1 spot soon. And 23. Okay. They're starting TJ. Tight ends. Maybe this will tell us. Okay, Johnny Munt. Yeah. And they also have Nick Muse, Josh Oliver, Ben Sims. That was before the cuts. I bet you it was Johnny that I saw. I swear, I think it was Johnny that I saw. Because it was Die. It was Die. You sure about that? Are you positive? Yeah, because I'm looking for that Vikings wide receiver, right? That Vikings tight end right now. That's what I'm looking up right now. I'll get to the Chiefs tight end in a second. Tight end depth chart. Yeah, it was Noah Gray. Noah Gray that you guys saw on Thursday night. That dude was tearing it up. Okay, it was Die. Justin Jefferson was a wide receiver. It was Die. I just gotta find Vikings. Oh, it was definitely a tight end I saw from the Vikings. It was either Josh Oliver or it was Johnny Munt. But whoever it was, yeah, man. That was one of the nastiest cuts I've ever seen from a tight end. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Noah Gray was good, too. Yeah. Noah Gray was tearing it up on Thursday. God, if anybody, like, picked him up for fantasy, yeah, mutts. I mean, it was a dirty move, too. He was just, like, he was going out for, like, a post route, and he went out, to the left. If you're looking at the end zone from the quarterback's perspective, he went out and he went towards the left. So that'd probably be more like a post route, really. I'm not sure really what that route would be. It depends on their playbook. But this guy Mutts, man. I think it was Mutts. And he would go out there and here comes the safety from the other side. And he would just go, whoop. Nastiest quarter post I've ever seen in my life from a tight end. I mean, the only ones nastier were from Greg Olsen and Travis Kelce themselves. Because, I mean, they're the best to ever do it. In the modern era. Best to ever do it in the modern era. You're not going to top those two. Those two will put the shake and bake on you in their prime form, man. You're not catching them. You're going to have to put two people on them. I think Gronk would be up there too. Gronk was one of the better ones at doing that too. But he didn't have those shake and bake moves that Greg and Kelsey had, man. Back in the day. Whoosh. You're not catching these dudes, man. So, I'm just telling y'all right now, those are two tight ends to watch out for in the league. They're going to be ballers. They are definitely going to be ballers. Excuse me. Since we want to get into this depth chart, this Kansas City game, a little bit for a second. Let's talk about that real quick. The Lions actually won. The Lions won. Let that sink in for a minute. Just look at this score and let that sink in. What a way to start the NFL season. Jimmy Graham was good too. He still is back on the Saints roster. Yeah, true. Very true. But yeah, Detroit actually beat the Chiefs? Whoa. That raises red flags right there. That raises red flags. We better be on our guard. Because if we don't play well and we act like Kansas City and we just play nonchalant like that right out of the gate, that is upset city. Right in our own division. Do not let that happen to you, Panthers. And I repeat that again. Do not let that happen to you. We are way too doggone good to let that happen to us. Way too good. But yeah, if you go into the stats of that game, you'll find some very interesting things. On the box score. Patrick Mahomes actually didn't do too bad. There's 21 for 39, 228 yards. I want to say 26 yards or 28. I can't read that.
Pleasure to welcome Aiden Hutchinson.
2 touchdowns and 1 pick. Now, here's the question here. Turnovers can cost you a game. But that's not what cost the Chiefs this game. It was the lack of production. It was drop balls. It was drop balls, y'all. What was one of the number one problems we had back in 2016, 2017, 2018? Drop balls. That's where I'm going with this. Y'all remember who kept dropping them too? Don't let that happen to you, wide receiver room. I'm trying to tell you that right now, because Bryce is going to throw them right at you, just like Patrick threw his right at his wide receivers. They're going to be bullet passes too. Do not drop these balls. Don't be hearing footsteps. Catch these balls. Man, Ian Thomas only dropped like a few balls, man. But yeah, he's one of the ones we're talking to, though. Don't drop them balls, bro. Don't pull a Kansas City. Because if you pull a Kansas City, you can't do that against the Falcons, man. They will clean your clock. Notice the best receiving yards was 2 receiving catches for 46 yards. That's it. Just 2 catches. What's the average number of catches per game? Like 4 per player, really? 3 or 4, depending on who it is and what their talent level is and what their specialty is. That dude only had 2. Everybody was dropping balls on Thursday night. Everybody. I'm going to tell you this right now. I would not want to be in that wide receiver room if I was a wide receiver after that game. I would not want to be in that room getting chewed out by that coach. Because you know he lit them on fire. He let them know after that one. There ain't no way that the Chiefs don't come out here catching balls next week. There ain't no way. Against the Jags. There ain't no way. So I'm going to tell you, Jags fans, be wary. You in for a dogfight. Let's just pissed Kansas City off. They done picked a fight, man. They done picked a fight. And they won. I would not want to be Jacksonville's defense, man. I would not want to be their defense next week. Plain and simple. I don't care how much of a baller you are. Because Kansas City is about to bring the house at you. Because they ain't about to take another L. That ain't happening. I'm just warning y'all right now. That loss right there just pissed Kansas City off. Ooh-wee. That's not going to look good for y'all. Trevor better play the game of his life. I don't think it's going to be enough. I don't think it's going to be enough. But, honestly, though, I wouldn't even... If I'm Jacksonville, I wouldn't even sweat it because there's so many other teams that you guys can beat. I'm fully expecting a Kansas City and Jacksonville rematch in the playoffs at some point. Whether it be divisional round or championship round, I'm expecting it. Jacksonville's just too good. They're not going to stay down. But I see that happening, though. I see a 24-17 win over the Falcons today. I see it. I see it coming. And it's technically today because it's 5 a.m. I see it happening, y'all. Watch and see if I'm right. I see us getting a field goal in there because you're not going to get every drive being a touchdown. You got the clock running at halftime, so there you go. Tyrone, you already gave me your score prediction, so let's move on here. We got Houston and Baltimore. Now this is early on Baltimore Ravens team. Versus CJ Stroud. Now normally I'd be tempted to go with Baltimore, but I want to see what CJ Stroud can do. I don't think he's got enough in him. They're going to have to build around him to be able to get the most out of CJ. I just don't see that happening this time around, so I got Baltimore. They got too many weapons. Too many weapons. That's a Baltimore win. Cleveland, Cincinnati. Now here's an interesting starter game right here. this is what I'm going to be keeping an eye on the scoreboard for. Because this is going to be a tone setter for the AFC. If anybody thinks that Cleveland is serious about being a contender, this would be the game to prove it. Cincinnati has a lot of weapons, and I think Cincinnati is going to win this one. But if you're going to make a statement, that's the time to do it, Cleveland. Good luck. I got Cincinnati winning by 10. All right, Tampa Bay and Minnesota. I've got Minnesota winning over Tampa. Tampa is starting to lose players. So, that being said, Minnesota. Saints in Tennessee. We'll get the Saints in Tennessee in a second, but Minnesota beats the Tampa Bay Bucks for sure. Saints and Titans. Oh boy, this is a tough one. I want to bet on Derrick Henry running people over, man. But at the same time, that Saints run defense is a little stingy, man. This could get real interesting very quickly in a low-scoring profile game. I've got Tennessee winning that one anyway, which helps us. So, I'm hoping that happens right there. I'm hoping Tennessee beats New Orleans. Jacksonville and Indianapolis. Jacksonville wins. Hands down, 14 points. Yeah, not even close. San Fran and Pittsburgh. That's a bit of a toughie. But I gotta go San Fran. They've got CMC. They've got a couple of other weapons on that team. Yeah, San Fran. So you got Arizona, Washington. Washington all the way. Washington by about 7. They don't have much, but they have defense. I'll tell you that. And Arizona's going to be punting a lot. They're going to bring the heat at Kyler Murray. He's not going to be able to handle it. And he's going to make some bad throws. One of them could be a pick. So, be aware, Washington defense. Be aware. Alright, Las Vegas and Denver. The Raiders. Sean Payton is the coach down there in Denver right now, but Las Vegas has more weaponry. I gotta go Las Vegas. Raiders on that one. Chargers versus Miami. I got the Chargers. Chargers have more weaponry. They're more dangerous currently. But any given Sunday, though, if you're the Dolphins right now, any given Sunday, this is a big one that you could upset them. You could make a statement, that you want to push for that division lead against Buffalo. So, who knows? Philadelphia, New England, Super Bowl rematch, right there. I got Philadelphia. New England's got quarterback room issues. It's not gonna be resolved in time. And Philly will have more weaponry to deal with that game and get the dub. Green Bay and Chicago. I got Green Bay. Chicago is just dead set on using Justin Fields, who is a bust. Sorry to say it, but he is. Let's call him what it is. Which some people are not willing to do. That's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. But Justin Fields is a bust, though. If he isn't a bust, then how come he hasn't led that team to a playoff run by now? He has not done it. Okay. So, battle out in the West Coast. Rams, Seahawks. This is a big one to determine who gets the upper hand on the West. I gotta go Seattle. For two reasons. One, that's in Seattle. And that's considered one of the noisiest stadiums in America. Two, the Rams don't have what they used to have. And Seattle will take advantage of that. Dallas and New York. That's another big one right there. That'll determine the race in the Central. I hate to say it, but I think the Giants might upset them. I think the Giants could upset Dallas right there. If they do, Dallas is going to want revenge later. And the vice versa is true. Who has more weaponry? Dallas does. Who has more luck and talent? Daniel Jones. So we'll see how that goes. But I do pick the Giants for the upset. Buffalo and New York for the Monday night game. Buffalo. Buffalo gets the dub. Alright. Those are my picks for this week. Let's see how they hold up. And I picked Kansas City over Detroit, obviously, before this game started. So, I mean, it's just obvious. Kansas City was better. They were more loaded. Okay. That being said, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Linebackers. Sorry, it's 5 a.m. I'm just tired. I'm trying to stay up for y'all. Just a little longer, man. Falcons say they're pretty familiar with our linebackers. Okay. Alright, so here's your captain's list. You got Brian Burns, who's currently in that conversation for the extension. You got Bryce Young, who we still have people questioning about his height. Adam Thielen, who is now healthy. You got Shaq, who realistically, yeah, he does deserve to be on that list for captain status, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I'd like to see Frankie Louvu step up, man, and be a captain. That would be cool. Or Derek Brown would be in the conversation as well. Johnny Hacker, of course, we have to have a special teams guy. And Taylor Moton. Really? You made Taylor Moton a captain. You made Taylor Moton a captain. Why? Why? All I have to say is why. You got Bozeman here that's been here for 2 years. 2.5 years. So what that Taylor Moton has been here for longer than that? So what? Bozeman deserves it. Ridiculous. But that's just my takes. Let's see. Oh, we signed another wide receiver. So Brian Burns participates in workouts on Wednesday, which means he's playing. Got word of that. Is a trade inevitable for Brian Burns? I don't know, man. I don't know. We just put Marquise Haynes on IR. That's pretty much it. NFL worst franchises, according to ChatGPT. We got the Cards, we got the Saints, Lions, Chiefs, Bucks, Texans, Bengals on the list. Bengals? After their most recent success? I don't know about that one. And Tampa just won a Super Bowl. Saints have been to one. Hard to argue Cleveland. You know what I mean? Or the Lions. Hopefully, we got 20 remaining free agents. Let's go. Justin Houston says the league is sleeping on us. Just like I was about to do on y'all. And I agree. Miles Sanders pitches Mike Evans to join the Panthers. I love it. And also a quick shout out to Vinny's Pizza, man. Vinny's Pizza, best pizza I have tasted in Atlanta. If you're in the Atlanta area and you're going to the game, go check out Vinny's Pizza. It's in Gwinnett, Georgia. I'm telling you, it's right next to the Infinite Energy Arena. Can't miss it. It's tucked away right in that corner right there, and it is the best pizza you will ever eat in your life. If you like Italian pizza. Oh, man. I'm not bluffing, y'all. I'm not just blowing smoke, man. That stuff is amazing. That's free advertising right there. I love Vinny's. That's my favorite out of town restaurant. By far. It's not even remotely close. So, shout out to y'all, man. So we traded for Emir Smith Marset. And he says, quote unquote, when I get the opportunity to be the returner, I'm gonna show that anytime the ball touches my hands, it's possible that it's going to the house. That's what I like to hear from my new return man in Carolina. That's what I like to hear. That's good. And how about this one? Rigor cut by the Vikings. Conditional pick by the Eagles received from the Vikings when they shipped Rigor to Minnesota a year ago this week. Won't convert him from a 5th round pick to a 4th round pick. Man, that's crazy. But yeah, why do we have 5 tight ends? Thank you, Harvey. Thank you for that post. That's correct. Why do we have 5? Robbie Anderson. Shout out to Robbie Anderson getting released by the Dolphins. Wah, wah, wah. 95 catches, 1,100 yards in 2020. Well, what else do we need to talk about? Who else do we need to talk about, man? The cuts here. Shi Smith, cut. Brandon Smith, cut. Which, I didn't agree with the Brandon Smith one. I'm not mad at it, but I just didn't agree with it. He's a solid run stopper. Very, very solid run stopper. But not that great at coverage. Which is what we want him to do. You know, if we're going to keep him. Kobe Jones, agree with that one. Spencer Brown, yep. Practice squad. McCollum Williams, yeah, practice squad. Mark Milton, not that great, man. Not that great. Javon Wims, Deontay Brown, Iku. I didn't agree with the Iku cut either. I didn't agree with that one either. I thought he did all right. You know, Justin McCray. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Herb Miller, though, yeah, Herb needed to go seek better pastures in a year. All right, so that's your cuts. And the Deion Jones one fascinated me too, because I wasn't looking for it. So I'm gonna show you this new highlight of this wide receiver that we just traded for. I'm gonna turn the sound off, but you guys get the idea. Wide open catch. So here we have one in triple coverage for this particular play. Of course, Patrick Mahomes slays that pass. Slings it right to him, you know. And during they were down 22-10 to the Browns. But what a catch there. Okay, that's kind of an out route. There's a go route, and that's a touchdown. I remember that. That was a fascinating game between the Browns and Chiefs that day. Chiefs did win, but not by much. Anyway, you guys get the idea of who this dude is. That being said, I don't think there's anything else we really need to discuss at the moment. Let's just get ready for game day. Alright guys, stay happy, healthy, well, and keep pounding. You guys know how we do around here, man. Let's stay true to ourselves, and let's get out there and take care of business, man.
Pizza time!
I'll see you guys next time. Keep pounding, baby.
is building a nice team.
Terrific additions in free agency.
You saw the savvy of Bryce Young.
Stock up on Miles Sanders. I love this move.
This could be the best defense in the NFC South.
Devoured and sacked. You cannot say enough about this Panther defense.
I think will be a factor immediately in the NFC South.
What do we expect with DJ Chark? I think he can be a beast.
You haven't seen him with the full offense yet. You haven't seen him with Miles in the backfield. You haven't seen him with all the receivers out there. And, kind of held back a few things, too.
Touchdown! Bryce Young to Adam Thielen. Young's first touchdown pass as a Panther.
Hayden Hurst goes upstairs.
Damn.
And he's set. He walked into a spider web. And he picked up Jeremy Chin. Touchdown! Carolina!
Oh my God.
This is amazing!
You've been listening to the Keep Pounding Podcast. Subscribe for more.